return of ground effect cars. And as Formula One heads into its fourth season under the current regulations, the issue shows no signs of disappearing. The 2024 season proved that despite advancements, teams still struggle with this unpredictable phenomenon as they push their cars closer to the ground in pursuit of performance. With every upgrade carrying the risk of triggering bouncing, it remains a crucial and often uncontrollable factor that could shape the championship battle. Many believe bouncing is a problem that can be completely eradicated, but in reality, it's an inherent consequence of pushing ground effect cars to their aerodynamic limits. Teams deliberately operate as close as possible to these extreme conditions to maximize performance, making bouncing a persistent challenge rather than a solvable flaw. There are two primary causes of bouncing, which can occur independently or together. In one case, it's triggered by a localized disruption of airflow under the floor, causing a sudden loss of downforce. As the car lifts, the floor regains its efficiency, pressing the car back down and creating a repeating cycle. Alternatively, bouncing can start with a mechanical impulse, such as the suspension bottoming out or hitting a bump, which can then lead to aerodynamic instability. The common thread is the aggressive pursuit of performance. Modern F1 cars are designed to run as close to the ground as possible to maximize downforce, but this approach keeps them on the edge of triggering bouncing. With teams continually pushing ride heights lower in search of gains, the phenomenon remains a recurring challenge in Formula One. Bouncing once again proved to be a major challenge in 2024, particularly for top teams like Mercedes and, most notably, Ferrari. The Scuderia struggled with the issue from the start of the season, but it worsened after the upgrades introduced in Barcelona. The persistent bouncing disrupted multiple races before Ferrari implemented initial corrective measures between Spa and Budapest, followed by a more comprehensive solution at Monza. Meanwhile, Red Bull has remained largely immune to bouncing since 2022, thanks to a design philosophy that prioritizes a slightly higher ride height, reducing the risk of instability. However, with Ferrari and McLaren rapidly closing the performance gap, Red Bull is now being forced to lower their floor to extract more aerodynamic load, potentially increasing their vulnerability to bouncing in 2025. This growing concern was acknowledged by Red Bull's technical director, Pierre Wache, in a December interview where he said, "If you do what the regulations push you to do, it's inevitable that you end up with a very stiff setup that brings you closer to the ground. This creates problems with bouncing and balancing the car because the suspension barely moves. We are now heading in that direction, because that's where the performance is when you can manage the suspension stiffness with the car so close to the ground." Since 2022, teams have developed various techniques to estimate the critical conditions that trigger bouncing. However, accurately predicting the phenomenon remains a challenge. Bouncing cannot be replicated in a wind tunnel because the models used are static and lack suspension, making it impossible to simulate the real car's dynamic oscillations. This limitation forces teams to rely on track data and computational models to refine their understanding and mitigate the issue. The issue is that it's difficult to achieve good correlation for bouncing in the wind tunnel. You only notice it when you're on track, explained Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur to the Italian media last July. Moreover, it can change from lap to lap. It's never the same. A gust of wind can alter the situation. But still, 2025 is a big year for the Scuderia, for reasons we are all aware of. Maranello is abuzz with anticipation as Ferrari works on one of its most secretive and ambitious projects in recent history, Project 677. This next-generation single-seater, set to compete in the 2025 Formula One season, is seen as Ferrari's potential ticket to reclaiming the championship. But beneath the layers of secrecy lie some of the boldest innovations ever attempted in the sport. According to insiders, Ferrari has taken an almost obsessive approach to confidentiality, limiting discussions to a select group of engineers. The few details that have surfaced suggest that Project 677 could feature groundbreaking aerodynamic and mechanical solutions, with an immediate impact as soon as the season begins. A source close to the team hinted that the new chassis marks a radical departure from past designs, introducing an entirely new concept with optimized weight distribution to enhance both straight-line speed and cornering stability. Reports from Italian media also suggest that the tyre management will be a key focus, potentially making the car highly adaptable across different circuits, an advantage that could prove crucial in the title fight. Ferrari's Project 677, now officially known as the SF25, is shrouded in secrecy. But what little has emerged suggests a car packed with bold innovations, especially in suspension, braking and aerodynamics. One of Ferrari's key areas of focus has been the suspension system, with rumours pointing to a cutting-edge design aimed at improving tyre wear management and maintaining race-long competitiveness. This could be a game-changer in terms of grip, particularly during the critical tyre warm-up phase. Brakes have also received a major overhaul, with a redesigned system that enhances response times without compromising balance. Improved brake cooling could prove crucial on demanding circuits, giving Ferrari an edge where stopping power and heat management are vital. The most intriguing rumours, however, revolve around aerodynamics. Reports suggest that Ferrari has pushed the boundaries of the regulations to uncover legal yet groundbreaking solutions, reminiscent of McLaren's flexible wing approach. One key detail concerns downforce efficiency. The SF25 is rumoured to generate significantly less drag on straights without sacrificing cornering performance. Ferrari is said to have conducted an unprecedented aerodynamic study, resulting in a design that is visibly distinct from its 2024 predecessor. According to an insider, Ferrari engineers have developed solutions that others haven't even considered. In a hyper-competitive F1 season, a fast start can make all the difference. Ferrari's strategy is clear: hit the ground running and put rivals on the defensive. If the SF25 proves dominant in the opening races, the team could set the development pace, forcing competitors into catch-up mode while Ferrari fine-tunes its 2026 project for the next regulation cycle. The 2025 Formula One season presents a unique challenge as teams must balance developing their current cars while preparing for the massive regulation overhaul coming in 2026. This final year of the current rules cycle puts teams in a tough position. How much effort should they invest in maximising 2025 performance versus shifting focus to 2026's all-new cars? Since January 1st, teams have been allowed to begin aerodynamic testing for their 2026 challengers. But there's a catch. Wind tunnel and CFD testing time is strictly limited. Under F1's aerodynamic testing restrictions (ATR) regulations, teams receive different allowances based on their finishing position in the previous Constructors' Championship. For Ferrari, this dilemma is even more pronounced. By securing second place in 2024, the Scuderia now has the second lowest amount of aerodynamic testing time on the grid. This means Ferrari must be incredibly efficient with its resources, balancing short-term gains with long-term competitiveness as the sport heads into a new era. According to AutoRacer, Ferrari's new technical director, Loic Serra, has already mapped out a strategy to prioritise 2025 development for at least the first 4 months of the season, covering the first 5 races. With 19 races still to follow, this approach allows Ferrari to remain in the title hunt before shifting more focus to 2026. Striking the right balance will be critical. If Ferrari can capitalise early in 2025, it could gain the momentum needed to fight for the championship while ensuring a strong foundation for 2026. However, mismanaging this transition could leave the team struggling in both seasons, something Ferrari can't afford as it aims to return to the top of Formula One. So, will Ferrari come out the gate strong this season, or will they stumble and crawl? Let me know in the comments below. That's all for today, so thanks for watching.